Alright, so let's take a look at your homework. We'll start with page 277. I believe we did some of these problems already in class. We did 6 of them already. Write the percent as a fraction or mixed number. 17, if we want to write that as a fraction, we can't write it as a mixed number because it becomes
17 over 100.
Hey, coincidentally, all of these percents are over 100. Why?
Percent per 100.
For every 100%. 17 over 100, is that a reduced fraction?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Isn't 17 prime?
Yeah.
Is 17 a factor of 100?
No.
17 over 100 is reduced. 20%. Hey, we did this one too. Is 20 over 100?
But yeah.
You can reduce it.
Divided by 20.
We can reduce that. Oh! Take out a 20 from each of those. I'm thinking $20 bills. 20 divided by 20 is 1. 100 divided by 20 is? And lastly, we had 125 over 100. The little trick that we learned yesterday, if it's more than 100, take the digit that's in the hundreds place, bring it out front. That's what you have left. 1 and 25 hundredths, which can be reduced to?
You can reduce it by 5.
Yeah. But then you got to reduce it again. If you reduce it by 5, Brenna, you get 5 over 20, which has to be reduced again. But if you reduce 25 and 100 by 25, you get 1/4. 1 and 1/4. Number 9, 355%. That's 355 over 100. Dylan, what'd you get?
3 and 55 over 100.
3 and 55 over 100. Part of me really likes that answer. Another part of me, we can reduce 55 over 100. I can take what out of it?
5.
Not 55, because 55 is not a factor of 100. Let's take a 5 out for sure. 55 divided by 5? 11 divided by 5?
What?
Is 11 20ths in simplest form?
Yes. Yes.
11 prime.
3 and 11 20ths is your answer. 0.1%. Now this is where some of us got a little tripped up. 0.1%. What does that become in step 1?
1 over 100.
Not 1 over 100.
1 over 10.
Not 1 over 10. In the first step, it becomes, not yet.
1 over 9.
No. 0.1 over 100. 0.1 over 100. But I can't have a decimal up there in my numerator. Multiply it by what, Dylan?
10.
10. 0.1 times 10 is?
1.
10 times 100 is? 1,000.
Oh,
0.1% is the exact same fraction as 1/1000. Number 11, 2.5%, Gabby. Don't give me the final answer. This is step 1. Give me step 1. You're giving me the final answer. You're jumping the gun. 2.5 over 100. Okay, so what's the final answer? But you got to do that to the bottom too. So it's not 25 over 100.
That's 25
Yes. 25 over 1,000, which we can reduce 1/40th. You divide a 25 out of both of those. Questions about those 6? 3 of them we did in class. Number 12. Write the percent as a decimal. You guys had so much homework yesterday. Where's the decimal point in 89%? After the 9. I don't say I have $5 in my pocket. I just have $5. We ignore it, and it goes away. Sometimes I wish that would work in real life.
What?
If you ignore something and it just goes away. Moving on. 89%. Oh, wait, I did a little trick yesterday, didn't I?
Yep.
Yeah, I got rid of this. I got rid of this. I filled it in. Then what did I do? Left or right? 1, 2. My answer is 0.89. Hey, you know what I want to see happen? I want to see this arrow. Why? Because I want you to show me that you know how to do it. There are 2 ways to do this problem. Do that, or
It's really hard one.
89 divided by 1,000 or 100. So which way would you like to do, Max? Do you want to show me the arrow, or do you want to do the long division?
I don't understand why I'm not showing there.
Because I said so. Because I'm the grown-up and I said so. Hey, 30% we also did in class. Point 3?
Yeah. Oh, can I just do that?
Do this? Sure.
Ooh, that's easy.
That's what I did. Where's the decimal in 2%? After the 2, 1, 2. I have to have a placeholder, right? 0.02. Yes, ma'am? Number 15? Ooh, 122%. Gabby, where's the decimal point?
Like the final answer.
No, initially, where's the decimal point?
Before the 2.
That's the final answer.
122%.
Yeah, it's right here at the very end. And you have to move it twice to the left, right? So what's your final answer?
1.22.
Does anybody disagree?
What?
Nope.
1.22? How about 3.5%? Ashley? She says 0.035.
2/3.
She's right, 0.035. Lastly, 6.33%. Lindsay?
Move it over 1 to the right and then we get
0.0633. Thumbs up, thumbs down? She's right. So, did you really have that much homework last night?
Yes.
No.
It was easy.
Not too bad.
It didn't take me that long.
It didn't take long.
It took me 20 minutes.
Today what we're going to do, I'm going to go through the rest of our homework from last night. But in the lesson that we're going to cover today, we're going to take the decimal or the fraction, we're going to turn it into a percent. So we're going to do backwards what we did yesterday. And you know what? It's not that bad, it's just as easy. Let's take a look at these last 2. At the bottom of page 277, than or equal to. 21.6%, 1/5. How do you compare these two? What should you do? I mean, you can't compare a percent to a fraction. You want to turn the percent into a fraction? I didn't do it that way, but you can.
Well, that's kind of hard.
If you did that, Cameron, it would be 21.6 over 100 compared to 1/5. Then you'd have to multiply this by 10, and then you're comparing it to 1,000. You could do that. What did you get for your answer?
I got 21.6% bigger than 1/5.
Is what?
Is bigger than 1/5.
Greater than?
I don't understand. Greater than less than.
Oh, you've never learned this.
Alligator.
Okay. 2 compared to 1. Obviously the 2 is bigger, right?
Yes, so how is it going to go close to 1?
Make it into an alligator.
How's like the alligator off?
The alligator always eats the bigger number. So 2 is greater than 1. If it were going the other way, 2 is what compared to 3? It's less than. The alligator still eats the bigger number.
That's a fat one.
Well, he just ate the 2. He already ate the 2, so he's full. Alright, so Cameron, you did 21.6 over 100 compared to 1/5. Did you turn this into 216 over 1,000 and then reduce it?
I just did that.
Well, in order to figure it out, you got to have common denominators. What might you have done differently?
I did making the 1/5 into 20 over 100.
Okay, so Allison, instead of 1/5, she said 20 over 100. Oh, hey, you could do that. That's pretty easy to compare. But that's not what I did.
Make it decimal.
I made it a decimal.
That's what I did.
I think that's the easier way to go.
I
I went like this. 0.216 greater than, less than, or equal to 1/5. How do I turn a fraction into a decimal?
divide 1.
Yup.
A whole 16%.
Number 19. Georgianne completed 60% of her homework. As I was walking around checking your homework, there were quite a few of us that missed this problem.
Was it easy?
It was very easy. The problem is, some of us work too fast to read. We must read the questions.
I read it.
Georgianne completed 60% of her homework assignment. Write the proportion of her homework that she still needs to complete as a fraction. How much did she complete?
60.
How much is left?
40.
How do you know it's 40, Dylan?
60 plus 40 equals 100.
Because 100% would be all of her homework. She has 40% still left to complete. But we want that as a fraction. So it's 40 over 100.
That's what I got.
Or, not 4/10, because that can still be reduced. 2/5. Correct answer is 2/5.
Wait, how do you fix it? 40?
The question says how much of her homework does she still need to do? She completed 60% of it. But she still has to do 40%. Okay, let's go to part 2. We'll go through this rather quickly. 32% as a fraction. 32 over 100. What does that reduce to? Yes, sir, Harley. 16 over. Part of me really likes that answer. Another part of me says, let's go more. That can still be reduced. They're both even.
8 over 25.
Factors of 8. 1, 2, 4, and 8. None of those are factors of 25. Reduced. 116%. Ooh, check this out. As soon as I see 116%, I'm automatically thinking 1 in 16 over 100. But, Gabby,
Wait, is it? 1 4
she took a 4 out of both of those. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 100 divided by 4 is 25. Correct answer? 1 and 4/25. 250%. I'm automatically thinking what? And? 2 and 50 over 100, 2.5. Ruh-roh. 0.3%. Roger? Not 3 over 100, because I do 0.3 over 100, but I can't have a decimal up there, so I got to multiply it by 10. That becomes 3 over 1,000. Does 3 go into 1,000 evenly? Final answer. Okay, Roger, redeem yourself. 0.4%. 4 over 1,000. But you're going to divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1.
That's 250.
Is he right? 250? 250, 500, 750. Okay, 1.5%. 1.5 over 100, right?
15 over 1,000.
Yes. 15 over 1,000. So that can be reduced. To what, Gabby?
3/20. 3. Wait.
Hold on. You're going to take a 5 out?
Yeah.
Okay. 15 divided by 5 is 3. What's 1,000 divided by 5?
200.
200. %. That's 12.5 over 100. 125 over 1,000. I can reduce by 5, but I'm going to go bigger. I'm going to go 25. How many 25s are in 125? 5. How many 25s are in 1,000? How many 25s are in 100?
4 times.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to teach you how to do this in your head. How many 25s are in 100? Okay. Then how many are in a 0? 0, so it would be 4Z40. Nope, yep. Five 40ths. Yeah, it's not reduced. Ends in a 5, ends in a 0. I can take another 5 out. Sean, you said 1/8? percent as a decimal. 63% becomes what? Easy peasy.
6300s.
0.63. I like how he said 6300s. 110%. 1 in 10 hundredths. How?
Maybe start behind the zero.
Just wouldn't it be 1.1?
Yeah.
Hey, coincidentally,
Extraneous.
extraneous 0. Do I need it?
No.
Should you put it?
Yes.
Yes or no? It doesn't matter. 42.15%, Cameron.
0.42.
Now, here's where you absolutely must include the things after the decimal point. Why? They're not 0. He's correct. 4215. 0.4215. 0.1%.
Because you do the test now 2 times, right?
You have to move the decimal 2 times.
So we point
You had the decimal 1. First time you said it, you had the decimal 1 wrong spot. You said 0, 0, 1, 1. 0.001. We did 13 and 14, didn't we?
Yeah.
An online bookstore sells 0.8% of its books to foreign customers. What fraction of the books are sold to foreign customers? That becomes, before I do some craziness, 0.8 over 100, which then goes to 8 over 1,000. But 8 over 1,000 needs to be reduced. They're both even. Let's take a 2 out. How many 2s are in 8?
1.
How many 2s are in 1,000? What's 1,000 divided by 2?
Oh no, that's.
I have $1,000. I want to give it to you
Oh
too.
wait, that's
How much?
Oh.
500. 4 over 5. Hey, those are both even. Max. Let's divide a 2 out. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 500 divided by 2 is? Those are both even. Let's take 2 out.
I'd say the 4.
2 divided by 2 is 1. 250 divided by 2 is 125.
I'd say the
1/125th of the books are sold to foreign customers. Yes, ma'am. I just gave you the answer. 14?
What?
Number 14? In Mr. Klein's class, 40% of the students are boys. What decimal represents the portion of the students that are girls?
40?
No.
oh no.
Wait.
No.
Wait, hold on. Wait, so no, I know this. Wait, hold on. So it'd be 7?
What?
It'd be 70, right?
70.
It's 6. April, come on.
I know this.
Correct your mistake.
60.
60. Not 0.40. I saw some of us that had that mistake. 40% are boys. What percent are girls?